and welcome back to MikiCarrBeauty. I'm Miki Carrico, and on my channel I love to talk about luxury skincare, beauty, and sometimes small luxury goods. And today I'm reviewing all the goodies I picked up from Dior Beauty. I will be demoing and reviewing the Forever Glow Star Filter in shade 4. The Forever Glow Maximizer Highlighter uses a highlighter in shade Peachy, and 2 shades of the Natural Bronzer Glow in 31 Coral Bronze and 51 Peachy Bronze. I have the deeper one on this side and the lighter one on this side. So if you're interested in seeing this beautiful glowy bronzy summery look, then keep watching. I'm super excited. I have like this summer goddess glow going. I'm very excited about this collection. Remember to subscribe and click all the notifications below. Remember to subscribe. You know, a lot of you actually are not subscribed to my channel, so what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe, and then commenting and liking below helps me out on my channel. And with that out of the way, beauty fam, let's get this Dior bronzer, glow maximizers, filters, highlighters on my face so you can see if you want to buy any of these products. But I love it. That's the spoiler alert. I love this entire collection. Okay, beauty fam, let's get into this makeup look with the Dior goodies. I have no makeup on except these good molecules under eye patches. I have such dark circles today. I am actually either fighting a head cold or seasonal allergies. So if my voice sounds deeper or raspy today, or if I just cough a little bit, it's because of what I'm fighting. I think it's seasonal allergies. My face is also very puffy, and I think it has to do with the allergy season. So I'm having these eye patches, and I'm hoping this will help today. So I'm gonna leave those on until we start doing the makeup. Before we continue, I want to just share, since this is a Dior video, I wanted to share an unboxing, and I'll link it up above and below, of this beautiful loyalty rewards gift I received from Dior. And I won't show you what it is because it'll be a spoiler, but if you want to see what was in this gold status loyalty program awards or rewards gift, then link the video below. I was very surprised, and I love this gift. It was not expected, and highly recommend going on their website. I know that sometimes people can get better deals on Nordstrom or Macy's, and that makes more sense for them. If you're into getting rewards and extra gifts and samples from Dior, this is the first time I've gotten a gift, so I would say, like, yes, it's worth it. Okay, so I'm going to take these off and then do a little bit of skin prep. And what I like to do, because I'm so puffy today, I'm using my Sisley eye roller. I don't know if it's actually gold, but it's gold plated or gold color, and it's cool to the touch, and it just helps with the puffiness of my eye. And then the other thing I love to do is use my Chantecaille roller and just use this to kind of depuff my face. This is gentle enough. These are lightly magnetized, I think, or charged rollers, so they do roll, and there's a charging mechanism here. We're going to go over the star filter, the glow maximizer, and the 2 blushes illuminating bronzers that I picked up. So let's start with the Forever Glow Star Filter. Then let me just show you the box. I did end up getting Star Filter shade 4. They said that depending on your Dior foundation color, that's what it corresponds to. So I'm usually a 3 warm olive, and I had watched other people's videos, so this is not a first impressions. I was really on the fence if I was actually going to get this collection, but after I had seen reviews, I decided to get it. So 3WO is definitely more illuminating and a little bit more frosty, and for me, on my complexion, that doesn't bode well. It looked almost, 3 looked too icy for what I like. So I am on the cusp. I haven't really had a winter shade in over 2 years because I've been going to warm weather during the winter, which is so great. So grateful for that. 4 is more of my best shade match, as you can see. It's closest to my shade. 3 looked very frosty, so this is the one I ended up with. But watching other reviewers, and also based on what I know, I've tried the Charlotte Tilbury Star Filter, whatever that is. I don't like that product. It actually broke me out and seemed very, very heavy, and also emphasized my pores. So I was really on the fence whether these glowy primers were going to work. So I also picked up these 2 Le Beige kind of glow primers earlier this year. So why don't I do this? I'm going to show you a little bit what this looks like today. So the complexion enhancer visibly brightens, smooths, and blurs the skin for a complexion that's more radiant than ever. The skincare makeup hybrid formula delivers 24 hours of hydration. It is multi-use and can be worn 3 ways: on bare skin to bring out a natural glow, before or mixed with Dior Forever Skin Glow Foundation to boost radiance, or applied in touches after foundation to highlight areas of the face. The shade range is suitable for all skin tones and works well with Dior Forever Skin Glow Foundation. It says it's non-comedogenic, and it's made with 94% natural origin ingredients. There are 10 shades of these. And it says this filter blurs, smooths, and brightens the complexion with a long-lasting perfecting glow and hydrates the skin for 24 hours. Okay, and it says the multi-purpose complexion enhancer reveals skin that is more radiant than ever. Okay, so this is not our first impression. I've actually been using this product on and off already. So I don't have any primer down. It's just my skincare from earlier today. I'm just using what I had on my hand because I don't want to be wasteful. And for those of you wondering, I try to film in natural light. So I'm filming in front of a big window, and it's like afternoon sun in direct light. Okay, and that was probably 1 pump. Super glowy. It's pretty. It looks basically like my skin, but better. Like, I have good skincare down. This is one of the ways they say you can wear it. Just put it on as a initial base. It doesn't cover any of my imperfections, but it gives me a really, really beautiful glow. So let's try it on the other side, but with a brush. So let us do 1 more pump here. Actually, I do like this mechanism. Okay, so let's get this on my skin. And what I remember of doing a finger versus brush application is that the application is thinner using the brush, because the brush will absorb a lot of the product. But I know a lot of people don't like using fingers or their hands. It's like, it's a preference thing. And this is a Sonergy's Lotus brush in the base brush. If they ever release this again, I would highly recommend you picking up this series. Actually, I would pick up another one of these. It's such a fantastic brush set. Okay, so that's it. Brush application side, and this is the hand finger application. So you can see it almost looks glowier on the side. I just think that less product is absorbed on this side. So because it's just my fingers, I'm warming up the product, and less product is wasted. Most of it's going onto my face, and then here with the brush application, some of it is going to be absorbed by this brush just naturally, just because it's going to absorb it. So if you want a lighter application, go in with the brush side. If you want more of a full effect, use your fingers. Okay, how does it it have a smell? It has a slight perfume smell, more like natural botanicals. Nowhere is it like the old Dior formulation where they would put a lot of perfume. So thank goodness they don't put perfume in this formulation. And I think that's one of the things I do like about them going a little bit greener or natural. So no added scent. Tackiness. There's definitely a tack to it. It just reminds me of primer tack. It's not super sticky, but it's not matte. So there's some grip to this. So if you were going to wear this just alone, just know that it hasn't dried down. I don't think it does dry down, is what I remember, is that there's always going to be a little bit of grip for it. So that is what the Forever Glow Star Filter in 04 looks like on bare skin if you wanted to use it just as like a glowy base. I would definitely use this as just like a one and done, like one, especially if I'm having a good skin day. I don't know if you can tell, I don't think it made me deeper. I think this is why I like to wear tank tops or kind of shirts or tops that show my décolleté, because I want you to see if it's actually changing the color from my face to my neck to my décolleté. So I don't think so. I think it actually complements it. It looks nice. It looks like my face is really healthy, almost like I have a little bit of a summer glow, which is what I was going for, and that's why I didn't get shade 3. And if you're curious, my closest foundation shades are below in the description box, so check it out. I usually wear a 3 warm olive WO in both the matte and glow and Backstage foundations. If it's kind of annoying you that there's some tack, I would highly suggest then you powdering it down, but just lightly, because then the glow will go away. I have used this. I do have oily skin. I get along with this product better than Charlotte Tilbury. Charlotte Tilbury is thicker. I feel like I had more of that Tin Man glow look, which for my age, I am not like looking for. Like, I don't need extra glow because I have oily skin and pores. So I don't like that Charlotte Tilbury Star Filter. That it just never worked for me, and it also broke me out first. So for all the reasons, I'm not a fan of that Charlotte Tilbury Star Filter. So if you were looking for an alternative to the Charlotte Tilbury Star Filter that was less Tin Man glowy and a little bit more natural glowy, I think you might want to try this out. If you don't like having shine on your face, then this product is like not gonna be for you. But I think if you have dry skin, it might be really nice because it kind of hydrates. And now we're gonna try it as a primer. So I'm grabbing my Dior Backstage 3 Warm Olive. And that's what 3 Warm Olive looks like. Just gonna put that on. I don't prefer using my hands. I feel like it's really messy. Actually, I really hate using my hands. Like, I'm also wearing a white top, so I'm always like worried that I'm just gonna get foundation everywhere. And you can see even 3 Warm Olive, I think I can pass with it, but it's also just a smidge too light for me. Again, I think I've just been tan the whole year, so really, in a way, 4 Warm Olive is my true color right now. I haven't been like wearing any of my winter shades the past year, so in a weird, annoying way, like I have about 5 foundations that are my winter shades, and I kind of haven't used them. I can use them, but I haven't because they're just too light. So we're gonna use the Dior 3 Warm Olive Backstage on this side, but with a brush. And I'm not gonna use a different brush. I'm just gonna use the same one and use the same technique on this side, but with a brush. Same brush. And I've already used this glow filter twice as a primer, and I really do like it. I have to use it more, and if you want me to do a wear test video of this Star Filter versus the Chanel one, let me know. So that is the side 3 Warm Olive with the brush, and then this is with my hand application. So again, you can see there's more pigment on this side because I used my hands, whereas the brush side, it does absorb some of that product. So I actually think I look better on this side because it's just more blended into my face, where this looks a little bit too light. Okay, the brush side with Dior Backstage on top. Beautiful. So you can see there's a natural glow to my face on the brush side. And this is with the finger application. Also glowy. I just think this looks more refined. But also this is my better side of my face. Just because I have like less acne on this side. So either way, whatever works for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is finish some of my eyes and then come back. Okay, beauty fam, I am back. I did my eye look. I was debating between these two Dior Quints. I have, this is Bronze Sepia, $4.99. I actually don't know if this is available anymore. Got a chance to have this base settle a little bit because I didn't powder down any of it. And then for liner, I used the Dior Show Stage Liner, and this is the color, oh goodness, I don't know what color this is. It's 676. I'll link it below. Although I don't recommend this. This is probably like one of the worst liners I've gotten. It just dries out. Okay, something so I'm noticing, at least from what I can tell, is that I'm having some rosacea and acne build-outs here. So this side where I used my hands to put the primer and foundation on is not covering this. Actually, it's actually looking not so cute. So what I'm going to do, and I haven't done anything like powder down anything at all. So actually I like the side with the brush application more. So what I'm going to do is like, I feel like I want to fix it because I can see, I don't know if you can see this discoloration here and here. And that's because it was a whole story last night. I got third-party tickets to a concert. They were fake. There were over 100 people who got to this venue in Seattle, and we all had third-party tickets that were fake. And the theater was like, usually it happens like maybe 1 or 3 people get fake tickets through third parties, but there were a lot tonight. There was like more than 100 people, and like I cried. So a little bit, this is like my face is puffy because I cried because this was what like a gift I was going to give my spouse for like since December. Anyway, it was a thing. My face is puffy plus the allergies. So I'm gonna actually use this brush that I used on that side to kind of tamp down any redness that I'm seeing on this side and kind of to settle the product. And some products are really good using your hands for application, and some are not. And maybe this is, for me, it's not. So I would recommend, if you're gonna use this, maybe use a brush. So I'm gonna go in a little bit with just kind of spot treatment here and here, because when I'm having allergic reaction or stress, my rosacea will start to flare up, and that's what you're seeing here. So I just put on a little bit of the Dior Backstage, just spot treatment, and I'm not spreading it, I'm just patting it in because I want it to settle. Okay. Okay, in real life, that's kind of what we're dealing with here. So that looks a lot better. Okay, so I have not powdered it down. It doesn't look super oily. What I'm going to look for is, I think throughout the day it's going to get more oily because I have oily skin. So I think it's looking really, really good. If I were to just do like really a quick and dirty comparison with Chanel versus this, I actually think the Forever Glow Star Filter looks prettier like on the skin than the Chanel. It does have more tack. I feel like the Chanel Le Beige, this primer, I think it feels like it wears like or settles down more and dries down, whereas this doesn't. So if like kind of having a little bit of tack on your face bothers you, make sure to put powder down. If you don't like perfume or scents in your primer, then definitely go with Dior. This has a scent. It's that Chanel floral scent they always have, and it might be a deal breaker for you. So just know that. Let's move into the Forever Glow Maximizer. Okay, I'm going to read a little bit from the website about the Glow Maximizer. It's about this size, and how much is this? $45. Oh, I forgot to tell you how much the other one was. The Star Filter, I believe, is $55. similar to the price of the Chanel. Actually, the Chanel one might be 50 or 60, a little bit more expensive. So here is the Dior Forever Glow Maximizer, limited availability, liquid highlighter, long wear, intense luminous glow, multi-use. It has 7 shades, and I picked up the shade Peachy. And I think one of my followers had chimed in saying, hey, I got Peachy. It's too light. It barely shows up on my skin tone, and we're very similar. I still wanted to get Peachy because I'm not using this as a blush. I don't want to use this as a blush because I don't like blushes that have shimmer in it because it emphasizes my pores and my lines. And I'm just at that age where I'm not going to use shimmer products so much on my face. And even having highlighter, even this is a bit of a dodgy proposition. So let's talk about it and I'll show you how it looks on me. I've been using this already, so it's not a first impression. I got Peachy because I wanted it to be a highlighter, not a bronzer, not a bronzer or blush. I am strictly using it as a highlighter, not as a blush. So I just want to be clear, like when you are watching this video, the comments below, like I don't want like people, well, you could do all, y'all gonna do what you want, but I just want to prevent anyone saying, well, it doesn't even show up. It's not even a good blush. I'm not using it as a blush. I am using it as a highlighter. And my preference and my age and my beauty routine, I don't like shimmer as a blush. So I'm not using it as a blush, and I want it to be subtle because when I do use highlighters on my face, I generally use powder. So this is what it looks like. Peachy, beautiful doe foot. It is the same size as the concealer, 11 milliliters or 0.37 fluid ounces. It's the same amount. The only difference is that the concealer has this glossy black and this is kind of this silver reflective top, which just a quick note, like both of these have these tops that are complete finger magnets, and I'm like always wiping it off. Let me show you what Peach looks like. Sorry, I'm not left-handed. I just don't have space on the other side. Maybe I'll just do it against my watch. This is so weird. I can't do this. Okay, so this is Peachy on this side. And for me, when I saw this, I was like, oh, I love peaches with my warm undertone. And it doesn't look too super glowy. Question mark. We'll see. Let me spread it out more so you can see. It could be... It's a very subtle highlighter. So I can see where people are like, oh, don't get it. It's not going to show up as a blush. That's fine. So if you're my skin tone and you want this to use this as a blush, this might not be good for you, Peachy, unless you want like a more iridescent, kind of super glowy, shiny blush, shimmery blush. I'm using this as a highlight, so for me, I was like, this looks so like perfect of what I'm looking for. So let me swatch with you next to that the Lisa Eldridge Elevated Glow in Solar Light. And this is more of an apricot leaning. Has a very thick doe foot as well. And so this is the Solar Light, more orangey, more apricot. It's very thin. And it's less glowy, but I just feel like these type of products create a very subtle, again, glow from within, and it's exactly what I'm looking for. And I'm gonna put 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try fingers because this is the finger side, so. Okay, there it is. And for sure, you can see, like, it's not going to be the color if you're going to use it for a blush. But again, I am purely using it for a highlighter, and I think it is so pretty. I just really love more subtle highlighters. So no highlighter, highlighter. Again, this is the Natural Glow from the Star filter. So I think, well, for me, I don't feel the need I would have to wear the highlighter, but if I wanted to be a little extra, super pretty. I've already used this product, so I know how how it's performing already on me. I put 4 on that side. Okay, so I'm using a Katie Jane Hughes 06 Spectrum brush. This is actually, I think this is a foundation brush. flipping it over because I think I put too much because I don't want to get it under my eyes. You can see where that glow comes in. There we go. So pretty. Finger application, brush application. I do think there was a little bit more product on this side, just to be fair, so you know. Super pretty. This is exactly what I'm looking for. So I've been using this, and it in the light, it actually, you can see outside, there's almost like a pinky peach reflectivity that it definitely looks like a glow. It doesn't look natural. It definitely looks like, you know, I'm wearing highlight, but it doesn't look like the beaming highlights of like, you know, Pat McGrath or Natasha Denona. I don't care for those kind of highlighters. Is it for the highlighters? Let me know if you liked the hand application more or the brush application. I think I liked the paddle brush application. Just overall, I just prefer this side because I don't like getting products on my hand. It just feels tacky. Then I have to leave or just like wash my hands. I'm at my beauty station. It's just like one more step. So I just feel like this side's a little bit like messier when I'm looking at it in real life versus this looks, because of the brush application, it just looks more like painterly and smooth and just a little bit more snatched. Okay, speaking of snatched, let's move to the bronzers. I could not decide between which bronzer color I wanted, and I'm ridiculous. I know there's only 4 of these. So this is the Dior Forever Natural Bronze Glow. So I ended up getting 31 Coral Bronze and 51 Peachy Bronze. And let me show you, sorry, these are very, this is downside, already tell you. I also am very clumsy, but like these are so like, they're not light, but because they're so smooth, like these slip out of my hand. So it makes me a little nervous. But let's talk about the packaging, beauty fam. Like, I think they're gorgeous. This is the thing about Dior. I think they have some of the most beautiful packaging when they try. Like, their outside Dior packaging, super boring. I wish they changed this and like made it better. But when they do packaging like this, and do the cross stitch or crotch hatch, which is very much on brand with the Christian Dior purses, bags, leather, fabrics, they knock it out of the park. Look how gorgeous that is. And so it's like this beigey peach with gold on it. And I've been low-key like stalking their website, looking at their scarves. As we're going into spring, I don't need a scarf, but I really do want a Christian Dior scarf. Some people love the bags. I just don't use bags as much as I would use a scarf every day. And I just, like, anyway, I've been looking at this crosshatch pattern for a while. Let me open these up very carefully. Like, again, I said these are very slippery. So I've actually dropped these, and I definitely don't want to drop these because I will be very, very sad. Okay, so this is the 31 Coral Bronze and 51 Peachy Bronze. Sorry, Coral Bronze on this side, Peachy Bronze. And they look very, very similar. And I know that some reviews say that they're the same, but they are not. And I'm going to tell you why. Coral Bronze, which is this one, 31, is very, very, at least on me, it just shows up just a smidge deeper because of my skin tone and coloring. I would use this kind of like an all over bronzer. And as I'm getting deeper through this season, it's not going to be dark enough unless I really, really build it up. But I don't want to build this up because there are shimmer particles in here that can emphasize. So I'm just already telling you the review because it's easier for me than to go back. This is the deeper one, and I feel like as I get deeper, this is going to be the one for me into summer. And that's why I couldn't choose which one, because I had seen a lot of swatches on people who have lighter skin than me and are not deep, and they don't have my warm golden olive undertone. So a lot of these, when I'm seeing swatches on other beauty content creators, it looks the same, but on me, it looks different. So that's why I started my channel. All these will look different on each beauty depending on their skin tone and undertone. Dior Forever Natural Bronze Glow. These are limited edition. These are meant to be glowy. These are radiant, not matte. So right off the bat, if you know you like glowy, shimmery bronzers, this might be your gal. If not, this probably might not be your cup of tea. This bronzer reveals a radiant sun-kissed complexion enhanced with a healthy glow effect. The limited edition couture case features an embroidered canage pattern with a Christian Dior brand. That's what I was talking about, that brand that everyone is very familiar with, and it's reflected in the pattern here of the product. It includes 4 healthy glow shades, each with a colorway, a satiny bronze powder, a matte sculpting powder, and a vibrant blush, and an illuminating powder infused with lashes of gold. Okay, I get what they're saying. There's like 4 different things in here, but there's no way I'm going to be able to get these products based on this design. So this in the middle would probably be the shimmer, and then the blush shade would be whatever this one line is. There's no way I'm going to be able to get to that one line, and this is the matte part. So again, I remember Hermes did the same thing of like saying there was like 3 different shades, and like there's no way. I just swirled the whole thing. And the shades work together to naturally revive the complexion to give a sun-kissed glow effect. The texture is light and ultra fine with a barely there feel upon application. That is very true. I barely feel it. It's very light. Delivers a perfect seamless finish for a naturally warmed complexion. 90% natural origin, which is kind of their thing. 4 shades, and the other ones are like pink base. So because I run warm, that's why I got these 2 colors. So this is a 31 Coral Bronze, 31, and this is a 51. So it'll help to see the differences when I tilt it down. So you can see where the Coral Bronze, this one versus the other one, the Peachy Bronze, is much lighter versus deep. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and swirl all this together. And you know, before I touch this, embossing was gorgeous, and it's starting to wear out for sure. So that is the Coral Bronze on me. So you can see this is starting to be my tan color, and I will get deeper throughout the day or the season. So you can see where this kind of just barely shows up. But if I want some color on my skin, or for example, I'm wearing one of my 5 foundations that are too light because it's my winter shade, I will use this to balance out and warm up my skin because, you know, I want to use my product. So that is the lighter one, number 31. And let me show you 51 Peachy Bronze. Definitely more peachy. The other one almost looks a little bit more neutral, if you will, maybe. Peachy neutral. This one's more orange. The inside's always lighter. My outside is like my tan side. 31. Let me do another swatch. So this is 2 swatches, 31, and this is 51. Very similar, not the same though. This is gonna run, again, you can see, like, let's do the comparisons. It looks like it's gonna be a better orangey, kind of like a better shade match. But like, let's get it on my face. So why don't I do one side with 31 and the other one 51. And I'm going to use my Inoshige brush from Sonia G, and this is Chikuhodo, my F03 Fox Hair. Sorry, why don't we use the Coral Bronze on this side? And I'm just going to swirl it here. So pretty. Let me get in closer. Okay, that's 31. I'm gonna put a little bit more, and I know I'm using a lot more than I normally do, but I'm doing it for the sake of the review so you can see how this product looks. So again, this is 31. Super bronzy. And with this product, this is why I love it. I knew it was going to be like this kind of product where it has shimmer and it's orange or peachy enough on me that I don't have to use any blush. Like, to me, this is a blush bronzer situation, and I love it. For me, a warm toned olive gal, this is like, I just love these type of products. Beautiful, right? This is 31. So if you're my skin tone and you want something that looks like this would be the one. It just kind of warms up my entire face. Like, I just definitely came back from the tropics on vacation. Really, really beautiful. Okay, so let's try the other side. and I'm using my Inoshige brush. Very similar. That fox hair acts like a goat hair, but it's just bouncy. Now this is Peachy Bronze 51. And sorry, I forgot to tell you, I did not powder down my face. Okay, so 51. Much more orange, you can see. I think this is going to look better if you're deeper than me, because I'm just anticipating this is going to be like my go-to once I get like tan come June, July, August. Number 51. 31. Tell me which one you like. This definitely looks more orange. Right now, I think this doesn't look as good. I think this looks better on me. It looks more like a more elegant, more natural bronzer. This looks like, maybe I'm sunburned. I don't know. You let me know. I think both are pretty. So again, 51, 31. Okay, beauty fam, I'm back with some fire orange lipstick. This is the DIORIFIC 075 Rouge Capucine. I got this probably back in 2020. One of my favorite lipsticks. I just love the case, and I wish they came out with these. These are like very special shades. It's like a very bright orange with a little bit of sheen. I think this filter, this Forever Glow Star filter, is beautiful. If you did not get along with Charlotte Tilbury, I think this is a better deal and better product all around. If you want a primer, a glowy, radiant primer that's not super Tin Man, and that's just my opinion. I think the Charlotte Tilbury is a little bit too frosty for my preference. Also, I did not get along with the formula. It broke me out. I've been using this on and off for a good 2 weeks. I have not broken out, so I think it's a really lovely product. I think if you are naturally oily, you're going to have to powder down. So it's been about probably an hour since I've started filming this with this on my face, and it's starting to get oily. So if I were to leave the house, or wanted more of a long-lasting day, I would definitely powder this down. So definitely check this out. Like, I think 4 is a nice shade for me because I'm going to only get warmer through the next couple months. The Forever Glow Maximizer, I really like it. It looks so beautiful, especially the side that I used a little bit more. This was more like 3, this was like 4 dots. So definitely recommend if you want to use as a highlighter. I don't know how it look as a blush. It doesn't emphasize my texture like too much, I would say. Like, you tell me if you see a lot of my texture. Right here you can probably see there's acne here. So I don't know. I don't think I would use this as a blush. That's just my preference because I have so much texture here that I know it's just not for me. And I'm sure there's other YouTubers who have used this as a blush, like the Charlotte Tilbury one. I think this is a great highlighter. I'm not going to use it as a blush. I would highly recommend it. The bronzers. I think if you're my skin tone or lighter, I think you might want to think about getting 031 Coral Bronze. I think this is like a really beautiful color for me now for this bronzer, and this is probably a little bit too intense, but as I get deeper I think it'll look really pretty. So if you're my shade deeper, like, I think 51 would look really, really beautiful on you. The downside of these bronzers, I just don't know how they're going to show up if at all on deeper skinned beauties. Let's just be real. Like, there's only 4 shades, so that's like kind of one thing I kind of dinged Dior on. Like, they could do better on shade range, so just know that. Packaging beautiful. There's definitely a scent. So what I've done is actually I've laid these open on my vanity and just kept them open, but I'm really careful because I don't want it to break. So I just been putting them high up and letting them air out, and that seems to help. Even if there's a smell, it tends to dissipate and it doesn't stick around. Before I sign off, I forgot I wanted to do one more thing. I do have a Dior bronzer, which is the matte one, a natural bronzer, 007 Golden Bronze. And it was in this packaging, a very similar, like this little puff, but again, it's like This is more padded and felted, I would say. This is more, you can feel it's harder and it's more of the fabric, where this is like tufted. Similar size, right? Same size. You have to make sure your hands are clean before touching this. I have touched these with my hands slightly dirty and I'm like, oh no! So I've had to like brush off. So I'm trying to be careful to not touch the fabric on here. So if that bothers you, you just know that your stuff's gonna get dirty. Like there's a little bit of like a marking here already, but I can't be too fussed about my makeup because it needs to be used. Okay, so let me do some swatches for you before I sign off. This is 31 Coral Bronze. Here again. This is 51 Peachy Bronze. This is 07, the matte one. Okay, so it's very pigmented, just so y'all know. This is 07. And it doesn't swatch as pigmented as you think it would. I'm just going to do a couple swipes so you can see. And it definitely is less orange. It's more red. And because these are shimmery bronzers, I pulled out the 3 shimmery bronzers that I have, the other ones, because I think they're similar in a way. So let me clean off my hand here. I'm going to show you Sisley, Tom Ford, and then Chanel. So Sisley, they only have one bronzer. It's that Big Chalet, the Sun Glow Bronzing Gel Powder. I love this bronzer. This is one I can use all over my face, and I just get that beautiful glow. And it's almost a little bit too shimmery. Some people might not like that, but I think it's gorgeous. So 31, 51, regular matte Dior number 7, Sisley. This is a Gold Dust by Tom Ford. I'm laughing because this is huge. So this is my very first bronzer. This is actually the second purchase of this bronzer I've had. This was my favorite one before I got way into bronzers. So this is Gold Dust 01. I don't think they make this anymore. And I got this big one when I heard they might be discontinuing it. So that is 01 Gold Dust. Definitely more peachy. To the naked eye, I would say this is pretty much more closer to somewhere between 31 and 51. And then I'll show you Chanel. Also a huge bronzer, but I just love this one. It does have perfume. It does dissipate. And this is Sunbath Deep. It's deeper, but it also has a sheen. I don't know if you can see. And I'm only showing you my bronzers that have a sheen. I have a bunch more that are matte, but it made sense more to me to show you the bronzers with the sheen. So 31, 51, 7. These are Dior Shimmer Matte. Sisley, Tom Ford Gold Dust, Sunbath Deep Chanel. Look. 51, 31. Do you like the glow, the summer vibes that are coming through? Are you ready for summer? I am, Beauty Fam. I'm here in the Northwest, where one day is so gorgeous and beautiful and you can see the spring flowers, and the next day it's like 45 degrees and raining and just sad. It just can't make up its mind. Okay, Beauty Fam, I hope that was helpful. Remember to subscribe. Click the all button below when you hit the subscribe button so you can get notification of when all my videos go live. Remember to comment and like below. Let me know what you think about this collection. Did you pick up any items from this collection? Are you wanting to? Which of these products did you like on my face that you didn't care for? Always be nice in the comments or you will not be invited to this house and party anymore. So just gotta remind that, because sometimes as I've gotten more like subscribers on YouTube, I've noticed some people are just not very kind. So let's keep it kind in the comments and civilized. Okay, I hope you all have a great day. As always, please be very kind with yourself and others and just be you. Until the next video, Beauty Fam, take good care of yourself. Bye.